Hello everyone, my name is Second Lieutenant Jose Aguilar of 2nd Bridge, and I am here to bring you the Military Family Readiness Brief. I'm actually extremely excited to bring you guys this brief. As the platoon leaders were breaking up who got which brief, who got to prep which brief, this is the one I wanted the most because I feel like this content is really important, very applicable, and if you are able to pay attention and listen to the things that and gain knowledge from this lecture, you'll be open to a bunch of resources that can not only help yourself but your family, whatever your family might look like. So this is a pretty awesome brief, and I'm very happy and excited to bring it to you. So just a brief overview of what we're going to be doing today in this brief is we're going to identify the definition of family readiness. Just a review probably for most of us. We're going to describe the network of the family readiness system, and that is a large system, as you'll see. Following that, we're going to articulate strategies to promote family readiness, which is, of course, very important. That's going to be in part 2 of this video series, and then identify resources available to assist military leaders and providers in promoting effective outcomes of family readiness. These last 2 bullet points are going to be in part 2, but these first 2 bullet points, identifying the definition of family readiness and the network of the family readiness system, will be in this video right here. So let's continue. Starting off with that first bullet point, the definition of family readiness. It's the state of being prepared to effectively navigate the challenges of daily living experienced in the unique context of military service. Ready individuals and families are knowledgeable about challenges, equipped with the skills to completely function in these unique challenges that the Army environment provides, or military environment provides, aware of the supportive resources available to them, which you guys will be after today, and then able to make use of those skills and supports in managing such challenges. There's a little bit more in this definition, and we'll continue, but I just want to preface, military family life is quite different than just normal family life, I would say. I actually come from a military family, so it's kind of cool. I get to see both sides. I was once a child of a military family, and now I'm in the military myself. And yeah, my parents even acknowledge there's a lot of unique challenges to being a child in the military, but there's also very unique challenges, which I can't speak of being a spouse to a military family member. So these unique challenges require unique systems of support to confront these challenges, to make sure that our families remain in a readiness status to ensure that everyone's okay and we can achieve our mission. So just moving on, definition of military family readiness, it includes mobility and financial readiness, mobilization and deployment readiness, and personal and family life readiness. So again, like I said, Army life and having a family in the Army is unique. They always say that it's not only the service member who's making sacrifices for the country, it's their family. So the least the country can give back to them to military families is resources to help them out a little bit with these challenges. But it is our responsibility as service members to be aware of these resources to provide them to our families so that we can help them out as they're making sacrifices for their country just like we are. And then if you guys need a further definition, it is in this joint publication from the DoD, just basically the military and associated terms. Highly recommended because there's a lot of acronyms in the Army, so I always have to look things up. So for further definition, you guys can look it up a little bit more. Okay, here's the bulk of the lesson or of the video today, the family readiness system. So here's where you kind of get introduced to the whole framework, and then we're going to go into the actual resources next video. So the family readiness system, it's the network of agencies, programs, and services and individuals and the collaboration among them that promote the readiness and quality of life of service members and their families. So basically the system that will make sure that families achieve family readiness. Service members and their families have a primary responsibility for their well-being. Family readiness services enhance members and families' ability to fulfill that responsibility. Again, service members or families of service members have unique challenges being a part of a military family. So it's important that we provide them resources for such. And wow, okay, so there's a lot here. I know. I won't go over everything on this slide because you guys can read it for yourself. But essentially, on the left-hand side, where you see multiple access points, this shows you kind of the main key components of where you can get certain services. So the military and family support centers, reserve component family programs, military one source, which we'll go over in the next video a lot, military family life counselors, medical command, child development centers, chaplains. So these are the different access points for you to get the services that you need, which are on the right-hand side. And it is a fully integrated network. All these people are integrated with each other to ensure that your family achieves a readiness status in the unique situation that they are now in because you are in the military. So there's a lot of different services. I'm not going to read all these because we actually go over quite a bit of these services as we just go on throughout the slideshow. So we're going to move on, but feel free to maybe like pause and look it over and just kind of read everything yourself if you so choose. But again, we're going to be going over basically all of these on the right-hand side, those services throughout this little slideshow video I got for you. So the DoD spouse education and career opportunities. This is a huge one. Being a spouse in the military is not easy. I would know because my mom was a spouse in the military after she retired from the Army, and it was a hard life for her. It's a hard lifestyle having to move her. I mean, in her situation, she had to move around, but getting her career opportunities and stuff like that, it's tough. Also, my girlfriend. I always try to look out for this kind of stuff, like the career opportunities that can happen for her in the case that certain things happen, like if I get deployed or something like that, and kind of making sure that she's okay as well. So anyways, they divide it very nicely on this slide into 4 different areas: career exploration, education, training, and licensing, career connections, and employment readiness. For career exploration, you're going to be using one source. Again, if you guys kind of look, that's the access point, and then the service that they're talking about is career exploration. That's kind of how this chart works up here. But anyways, this is to assist spouses in identifying career interests, aptitude tests of that sort, obtaining information about today's job market and work opportunities, including portable skills and careers, that type of stuff. So kind of like understanding what kind of career you should pursue and just kind of the job market and what careers are available for your spouse. So this is great. So it kind of goes from left to right, and then you go down there and then to the right again. So once your spouse kind of identifies, if they haven't already, what kind of career they're interested in, there's education, training, and licensing to ensure that they're able to achieve those metrics that they need to get that career that they discovered that they want. Of course, obviously, like a lot of spouses at this point will probably already have a career out there in mind for them. But do keep in mind there's certain programs, which we'll get to later, that can assist your spouse, not just yourself, but your spouse in getting the education they need to achieve some sort of career goal. And then this one would be My Career Advancement Account Scholarship, My CAA, and I'll go over that, I think, directly below this slide. Next up is career connections. So they find out their career, they get the education they need for their career, and then now it's time to network, connecting with corporations, government organizations, and nonprofits to actually get that employment. So military spouse employment partnership. There's a direct website right there that you can actually access and look around. And then finally, employment readiness. It connects spouses to the services-led employment readiness efforts that assist spouses in preparing to join or re-enter the workforce. And then those are the kind of resources below. So resume writing, interviewing, network, and mentoring. These are all really important things, obviously, to get that job that your spouse wants. So this is a great program that I don't have too much experience with it, obviously, because I'm pretty young, but I know other officers, like one of my dad's bosses, his wife was very involved in this, and she got all of her jobs through using DoD resources. She had a very successful career. So this is, at least from the limited experience I have and just kind of perusing around their websites, it is kind of the real deal. So do keep in mind that this is a resource available to you and your family and your spouse specifically. So here's the main thing: My Career Advancement Account Scholarship Program. This is what I was talking about previously. So this is financial assistance for spouses of active duty service members on Title 10. So like if we're just drilling right now, we're not eligible for this, or our spouses are not eligible for this scholarship. But if we were to get activated and deployed, then they would be eligible for this scholarship. And you can get more information here. Here's some more details about the scholarship itself. $4,000, that's a pretty penny. And then spouses can register for an account when they want to try to get this scholarship, and if you are on Title 10. So yeah, this is an awesome program. I mean, $4,000 for education. Who can complain? Um, Here's more on the spouse employment partnership. This was listed above as well. So it's that web-enabled employment and career partnership that connects military spouses with more than 270 corporate partners. When trying to look for a job, networking is everything. So it's really nice for your spouse to just have access to a pre-made network for them. 270 corporate partners is quite a bit. Partners employers have committed to recruit, hire, promote, and retrain military spouses in portable careers. So that's awesome. Employers have posted more than 3 million jobs on MSEP career portal, and they have a bunch of other just stats. I'm not going to read every single stat below that kind of lists their success. But like I said, the limited interaction I have had with this like spouse help, it has been pretty good overall. So I recommend looking out for this if your spouse is in need of employment. And then here we go, the Military One Source Spouse Career Center. We'll look at Military One Source more in the next video at other types of resources they have. But the main things we have here is comprehensive counseling services, career exploration, employment readiness, career connections. Counseling services are available 6 days a week through specialty consultations with certified career counselors at this number. Do keep in mind a lot of the information on the video is going to be a little bit iffy because these were made before COVID hit, at least I think. Because I've been like perusing around on the various websites, and a lot of things aren't exactly as they say. Like sometimes the hours are limited because of COVID. So do keep that in mind, and it's a little bit on you to kind of explore the websites for yourself to see those resources. But don't worry, I picked out like a couple of the more important ones, and we'll kind of explore those together in the next video when we look at the resources, so you guys can kind of see what I mean by slight differences. Okay, next up, the Family Advocacy Program goals: promote prevention, early identification, reporting, and treatment of child and spouse abuse. So yeah, this is a little bit more of a negative topic, but this is something that's very important to cover because these things can occur. Strengthen family functioning in a manner that increases the resilience and readiness of military families. Resiliency is something that's super important for a military family and something we got to keep track of. Preserve families whenever possible without compromising the health, welfare, and safety of victims. Providing effective treatment for family members, and collaborating with state and local civilian authorities, essentially. And here you can see this large chart. It's the coordinated community response for child abuse, neglect, and domestic abuse, and the different types of programs. So they lay it out really nice for you right here. Yes. Child and youth programs. So there's more than 760 child development program facilities and approximately 3,300 family care homes worldwide. Here's more statistics. But a lot of you, this is the main thing that I thought of when I was going through this brief, when I was prepping it. A lot of these are on military installations. And you might think, oh, I'm in the reserves. I don't actually have access to this stuff because the closest like military installation that I can go to with a lot of these services is like JBLM or something. Do keep in mind, here's the main thing. Or maybe they talk about it later. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the YMCA is actually partnered with the military, and based off of certain guidelines, you can actually get some child care programs at the YMCA. I think we actually cover that in the next video, but don't think that this stuff just applies to active duty service members. This applies to you too, because we have partnerships with civilian like installations or civilian institutions like the YMCA to ensure that you can also receive the help that you need for family readiness. Okay, youth program overview. Like teen centers, there's not going to be many teen centers like military teen centers, just like in the middle of wherever you live. But there's a lot of teen centers on, for example, like military installations. But they provide a lot of different types of services. And then the Boys and Girls Club of America, supporting military youth on and off installations. That's the important part, because most of us are not close to an installation. And then here's the overview of the Office of Special Needs. The mission of Office of Special Needs is to improve Department of Defense support for military families with special needs. So this is very specific, but this is also a very important and essential resource if this is relevant to you. That's all the time we have in this video. Next video, we'll go over those last 2 bullet points. Bye. Have a good day.